Welcome back to Yoshi Entertainment, everybody. And just like that, it is scammy season. Oh, I'm sorry, I meant Grammy season. So this year, 2024, the Grammys was on just last night, and there was a lot that happened. And I'm really thankful to God for the people who give us the highlights on YouTube and Twitter because ain't nobody got time to be watching that. And I've noticed a lot of people have been falling off lately. Not as many people as should be falling off has fallen off. We need some more people to fall off. But, like I said, for the people who don't like watching the Grammys because of all the obvious reasons, not just because their favorite artists are getting snubbed, but because it's just a bunch of garbage, once again, we are grateful for the people who give us the highlights. Very nice, very appreciative. Now, getting into three main things that happened that really stuck out to me, according to the highlights of the Grammys. Now, for one, the artist, the leader Mike, and I said it that way because y'all ain't gonna have the algorithm getting me. He was on stage talking real good, talking about I guess it was some kind of like empowerment speech, if you will. Don't let anybody tell you you're too old and you're too this and you're too that and you can always succeed and blah, blah, blah. That's basically what I got from the message. And then this man accepted his award, got off stage, and the police arrested him. Now, they claimed the allegation, I don't know if it's true, the allegation is that he had gotten into a fight outside right before the Grammy started, allegedly apparently hit a security guard. Somebody had it on camera, they had recorded it, they called the police, they submitted the evidence, and the police was like, oh, okay, we got something for him. Let him accept his award, and then arrested him. That is the allegation. I don't know if that's 100% true. Twitter likes to correct people, fact check people, if you will, which is just a little bit shady. I can understand if it was something completely outlandish that indeed needed to be fact checked, but some of these little fact check moments, I'm side-eyeing them. But it really could have been because of anything. We don't know with 100% certainty yet. Now, the next thing I wanted to talk about, the second thing I wanted to talk about is something that everybody was pointing out, especially the black community, because something I've noticed, black people don't play about Celine Dion, okay? There's a couple of people I saw, somebody made a post on Twitter, and they listed some Caucasian people, some white people, if you will, and they said, these are a list of white people that black people don't play about, okay? And Celine Dion, I believe, is one of them. Now, they had different legendary artists, individuals who were presenting awards to the people who were winning. Mariah Carey presented the award to Miley Cyrus. I did think that was kind of interesting, admittedly. And then they had Celine Dion present the award to Taylor Swift. Now, I'm going to take this time to go ahead and acknowledge that there are certain topics that I usually don't speak about because of the kind of response that comes out of the people who are involved with some of these people. Not only is it annoying, but it is very disturbing to me. So there are certain topics even I won't speak on sometimes unless I just feel compelled to speak on them. Now, I've made, generalized statements saying that I wouldn't put these celebrities on a pedestal. That goes for all of them because they are human beings at the end of the day. They make mistakes. They do stuff that's not right. They are not to be worshipped or exalted. And I've said this before. There are consequences, repercussions that come with putting people on a pedestal, putting people in a spot that only God needs to be in. But when you acknowledge that, when you say that truth, that fact, because let's not ever get it twisted. That is the truth. That is facts. Some of their fan bases, some of these people who worship the ground they walk on, get so butthurt and offended that you didn't say something in support of these people or worship of these people, that they lash out and they call you a hater. Like I really am mind boggled at the time that we live in where you can't say the truth about some of these people and acknowledge the fact that people worship the ground that they walk on, and they should not without these people calling you a hater because they are so under these people's spell. Their brains can't work past this toxic mentality that if you're saying something that's not good about them or not, like I said, in support of them, then by default, you hate them. You're jealous of them. You wish you were them. You're just a hater. Like it's mind-boggling, and it is disgusting, and it is disturbing, almost to the point where it's starting to get kind of scary. I'm gonna be real honest with y'all. And on top of that, I'm starting to question whether or not some of these people have mental illness. I'm being real honest. Not being disrespectful, I'm being for real, because that's how disturbing, like I said, this stuff has gotten, how far out of hand it has gotten. But anyways, this young woman goes up to the stage, they call her, she's all happy or whatever. She's going up to the stage, she's hugging everybody. Celine Dion is presenting her award. And what does she do? Take the award out of this woman's hand without even acknowledging her existence and then makes her speech. When I tell you these people, and before anybody tries to be slick and disrespectful and say, oh, it's just certain people, there were both white people and black people who were very upset at what she did. Some people were pissed off, actually. They were saying this is the Celine Dion, who we all know has been battling illness as of late, who came out here, who made her way out there with her oldest son, because if I'm not mistaken, that's who had escorted her onto the platform, and received allegedly a standing ovation just for being out there. And you didn't even acknowledge her presence. You didn't even look this woman in the eye. And once again, people were saying, somebody had pointed out on Twitter, when Miley Cyrus went on the stage to accept her award, she acknowledged Mariah Carey. There was a whole video, a little short clip. She, looked at her, she shook her hand, they did a little, cheek to cheek kiss, whatever. She acknowledged the woman who was presenting her award. And then she went on to do her speech and all that kind of stuff. And they said, if Miley Cyrus can pay respect to somebody who came before her, then so could have Taylor Swift. Once again, people tried to chalk it up to, oh, y'all are just being a hater. Y'all are finding anything to nitpick at Taylor Swift. Maybe she was just swept away by the moment. Maybe she just couldn't process it. That's not something that you don't process. Once again, this is coming from somebody who don't even like secular artists like that. But I understand the moment, the accolades, the appreciation, paying your due credit and acknowledgement. Being swept away in the moment, not being able to completely process what's going on, that should not excuse you from bad manners. And she couldn't have been that swept away. The woman has won like 4 awards at this point. This should not come as a surprise to her. At this point, she's working to win those awards. These award ceremonies, since the first time that she has won an award, since that Kanye incident that people have been bringing up too, she should know how to conduct herself. She is not a child. I could see if that was Blue Ivy or something like that. And even still, you know that her parents raised her better than that, at least. But I could see if she was like a child or a 15-year-old, maybe. But she's an adult. And that's another thing we could talk about, people babyfying that woman. She's a grown woman. She knew better. All that stuff that people were saying to justify what she did is excuses. And nobody was here for it. At least nobody mature was here for it. But once again, her supporters, her fans, the people who worship the ground that she walks on, was trying to chalk it up to people being a hater. Oh, y'all just have nothing better to do than to hate on this woman. No, they're calling out wrong as they see it for what it is, wrong. We are living in a generation of individuals, and unfortunately, it's a lot of them who have this sense of pride concerning them parasocial relationships I've been telling y'all about, to the point where it has gotten out of hand. And pride goes hand in hand with offense. In the spirit of offense, the level of offense that these people are moving in, when you say that their favorite celebrity has done something wrong, it's so disgusting, like I've said before. Like, we can't say anything about these people, them doing stuff that's not right, them having bad manners, them messing up, even if it was a mistake. Like, we can't say anything about it because these people are too goofy and immature to understand that whenever you accept accountability for what you did, whether it was a mistake or not, helps you mature, helps you grow, helps you be a better person. Don't you want to be a better person? Well, I guess not. And another thing, since I mentioned that Kanye moment, whenever he got onto the stage and interrupted her speech, which was pretty rude, despite how you feel about whoever you feel about it, that was still pretty rude. So she should know how to conduct herself once again on the stage, what to do, what not to do, how it feels when somebody is disrespectful to you on a stage like that. And also, we all know good and doggone well that if the roles were reversed, if the shoe was on the other foot and that was Taylor Swift offering an award to somebody else and they snatched that award out of her hand and didn't even acknowledge her presence, the entire Swiftie fan base would lose their minds and probably harass that person into oblivion. It's not fun when it's the person that you like or who you've put on a pedestal. This is what I'm talking about by people excusing what they want to excuse for who they want to excuse it for. But when the shoe is on the other foot, like I said, and it's them or somebody they like, oh, how dare you ignore the legend? How dare you? She's a living legend. That's what they would have been saying had it been her that happened to. And I know everybody wants me to let it go and move on to the last thing, but there's 2 more things I'm going to bring it up since we're on this subject. Because everybody wants to make it seem like it's all the people who are not Swifties who feel this way. There are people who openly admitted that they even loved Taylor Swift, but they did not agree with what she did on that stage concerning Celine Dion. And that, good ladies and gentlemen, and brothers and sisters of the Most High, is maturity. When you can like somebody, but not put them so far on a pedestal that you can't call them out for what they did wrong, That is maturity. Despite how I feel about these people, I respect those kinds of individuals. You say you like an artist, but they're not above reproach. They're not above you calling them out. I respect those people. The other excuse that we're gonna not accept because it's an excuse and point blank period about that is people saying, oh, well, y'all said that she was suffering from an illness. She couldn't have people coming in contact with her, hugging all over her. That's not what we said. We said acknowledging her presence, thanking her, looking her in the eyes instead of just taking it from her, as people were saying on Twitter, like she was some kind of Grammy shelf and then going on about her merry way. And Taylor Swift made that excuse go poof like smoke whenever she released this photo of her hanging all over Celine Dion to try and make up for what she did. Them PR people said, girl, these people are mad at you. They are very upset. You need to do something fast. And she really thought this was going to smooth it over. We see you. We see you for who you are. And people have been trying to tell people about Taylor Swift for some time now, but only people who really want to see it and listen are going to see it and listen. That's all I have to say about that. Now, moving on to the last thing that happened that, I'm not going to lie, made me chuckle a little bit. I mean, chuckle for real. Jay-Z's infamous speech. Now, people are probably really going to not like what I have to say about this. I mean, at this point, I done already said so much about Taylor Swift. I already know somebody's going to already be mad, so we're already out there. That ship has already sailed. We've already crossed that bridge. We may as well keep crossing it. Now, they were talking about how, they were so happy with what he said, that they took pride in the speech that he made, and, yeah, that's right, him talking about keep showing up until they call you CEO or whatever he said, basically. And I feel like there was a lot of lack of wisdom in that speech. And I know that might sound crazy, but hear me out. Just let me explain. So first of all, we all know that the Grammys, I'm going to just be real honest with y'all, is controlled by the elite. We already know that. The people at the top, they're not about to give awards to anybody who they don't want to give awards to. We've already seen this with all of the artists that y'all have been talking about, y'all felt like should have got an award, who got snubbed. We've seen this with some of the artists who said, I'm not going up there because y'all ain't giving none of the black people awards anymore. And it's not that, we just got to give somebody black an award. No, it's that they deserve it because they put in the work. They did what y'all said that they were supposed to do. Why y'all ain't giving them the awards then? So people stop going. Y'all know the game that these people are playing. Why are you complaining about the awards that they are not giving y'all? They've been telling these celebrities to stop begging these people for awards and attention and appreciation. Go start your own stuff because that's the only way you're going to get it. And they keep going down there to these Grammys expecting awards that they are not going to get from these people. And they don't have to go to BET. We've already established that has went to the trash, okay? They ain't got to go to BET. But the smart thing to do would be stop begging for awards from these people and go make your own award show. And if you can't do that, I don't want to hear nothing you got to say about it because you know the game that you're playing. You signed up to play for it. So what am I supposed to feel? I don't feel anything, quite frankly. Also, speaking on the part where he said keep showing up until they call you this, until they acknowledge you that, that's just goofy and it's not going to work. Again, considering who he works for, what kind of industry he's dealing with, knowing that they're never going to do that, knowing that they're never going to give him or anybody else that looks like him for that matter, the acknowledgement that they feel like they deserve, knowing that they're never going to call them the CEO of nothing, especially something that they don't run. Like, that's how you get the police called on you and escorted off the premises. He's trying to have the police called on y'all and have y'all escorted off the premises on some, I'm gonna just keep showing up till y'all give me what y'all supposed to do. Like I said, carry y'all's black behinds off of that show and go make something of your own, because that's the only way you're gonna get something that you want. Now, people were saying, you can't blame him for standing up for his wife and pointing out this stuff that has already been pointed out by people before. Like I said, at this point, you pointing it out again is not doing anything to help anybody, especially because we know that it's not about to change. Although still people were giving him his props for defending his wife, and that's all fine and dandy, I guess. But while he's up here calling himself defending his wife, he's really on thin ice, because the last time somebody that looked like him, who was a millionaire, who called out a very large entity of individuals who we know who runs the entity, so to speak, did some stuff like that, tried to call out some stuff like that. You remember what happened to him, right? Some lawsuits came out of the woodwork. Low-key, I feel like they tried to make an example out of him, and clearly somebody didn't get the message. So once again, I feel like he's skating on some thin ice, and quite frankly, I wouldn't be surprised if some dirt came out all of a sudden concerning him. I really wouldn't be surprised, because you don't just call out people like that. My mind goes back to Nicki Minaj whenever she tried to clown Miley Cyrus, and the word on the streets is that Miley Cyrus's father, Billy Ray Cyrus, is pretty high up there in the industry. You don't just say stuff like that about people like that and then, walk away without consequences. That's all I'm pointing out. And what I mean by consequences is, y'all think these people are getting snubbed now? Or they probably definitely not getting nothing now from these people after he done said what he said. Anyways, y'all let me know what y'all think and how y'all feel about all of this down in the comments below respectfully. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Y'all all have a very blessed, beautiful, and safe day.